This is the third episode of Bedtime Stories by Brandon Copeland. Hope you're enjoying these. I enjoy making them, and here we go. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who moved into a new house. In his house, he had a new bed, and his bed looked different than any other bed he'd ever seen. It was one of those old-fashioned type beds that had the legs made of wood that looked like the legs of an animal. I don't know if you've seen those before, but some old furniture made the table legs or the bed legs or the chair legs look like the feet of animals to kind of give it a regal touch. And the whole house was like that. It was older and ornate and lots of things made of wood, and it was a very nice home. The boy was excited to have a new bed. It was the first time he had his own bed. You see, before, his family was very poor, and they lived in a small, small home, and him and his little brother had to share a bed and share a room. And now they each had their own room and their own bed. So this was very exciting, period. The boy, that night when he went to sleep, he thought, as he was saying his prayers, he thought that he saw one of the legs move before he went to bed. But of course he brushed that off and said, it's just my imagination. So he went to sleep in the bed, and that night he had a fantastic dream. And his dream, his bed was alive, and it crawled out the building, out a window, and it could fold up and keep him nice and safe in the mattress and hold him there securely. And it crawled down the wall like a spider. And then it crawled over the wall in the backyard and out onto the street and started walking all over the place, exploring. And what was even more amazing is this bed with legs crawling around the neighborhood at night found a bunch of other furniture that also had legs that was crawling around at night. It was like a furniture convention. There was a horde of different types of furniture crawling all over the neighborhood while everyone was asleep. And each one had a sleeping person on it. There was an old couch, fluffy pillows with the wooden legs that looked like animal legs. And that old couch was crawling with an old man on it. There was a couple of chairs. Each chair had a kitten on it, and they had legs that looked like animal legs. And all these things played and leapt and jumped and ran free out in the streets. They found a field and they ran and galloped and raced. And it was quite a sight. It was almost like the Wild West. When the pioneers first came to the Wild West, they would see herds of antelope and buffalo and wolves and bears, except for in this vision, all those things were armoires and chairs and tables and bathtubs and beds, running wild. And then just before the sun came up, almost like an unheard whistle, all of the furniture stood at attention, like they were communicating, and they quietly walked back to their residence where they lived and crawled back into the buildings and got back in their positions and stood still. And then the sun came up and everything was back to normal. And then the boy woke up and he realized, oh my gosh, that was the craziest dream I've ever had. That was crazy. It just seemed like everything was alive and all the furniture had like a community. This is so crazy. And he got up and he looked at his bed and everything looked fine. And then he went into the bathroom to wash his face and he looked in the mirror and he noticed that he had a leaf in his hair. How'd I get a leaf in my hair? The end.